Welcome back. We all know about dry January, the trend that has us give up on alcohol for a month after what can sometimes be an overindulgent holiday season.
Okay, but what about focusing on your finances and doing a dry February? CTV finance expert Pattie Lovett-Reid says February is the perfect month to reflect on your spending and hit the reset button to bring balance into your life and maybe your bank account. Welcome back, Pattie.
Thanks for having me. Don't I sound like fun?
Well, no, I mean, you're fun if you're helping us save. And you know, I'm not usually a fan of giving up anything, but I am intrigued by this dry February idea. So break it down for us. What's it all about?
Okay, in the interest of disclosure, I am in the midst of dry January, and I thought, I feel in control. And, I feel better. And I'm wondering, I'm not going to ask someone to take on a challenge of, not spending it all in January. The bills start to come in. Some, not all. There are many people who did not overspend during the holiday season, but there are some that did. And there are some that have acknowledged to me that they continue to click on, they buy regularly, and it's about a lot of mindless spending. So I thought the challenge that I could put out there, and I did on Instagram, and people have acknowledged that they're going to embrace it come February. They're going to shut it down. Non-essential spending, no, not going to happen. Now, I get it. You do have to pay for some things, mortgage, rent, food, utilities, that sort of thing.
Yeah, but it's those kind of other places where we're leaking money that we got to look at, which is great. So we keep hearing about the inflation rate, and it seems like the cost of everyday living is going up in Canada. So what kind of impact is that going to have on us this year?
I think it's going to be challenging for some people. In fact, Cynthia, just this morning, there was a report out by Angus Reid that highlighted the fact that 39% of those surveyed came back and said that they are worse off this year than they were last year. Low incomes, wage stagnation, inflation. And the fact is their housing may be very precarious. And when you look at inflation data, up year over year, a big one is food. People are really struggling. And so not everyone is. There's this bifurcation going on, a great divide here in Canada. You've got those who have been able to continue to work, continue to save, and in some cases sitting on boatloads of money. And you have others just struggling to get by day by day. And so this is not a challenge for them. This is just an opportunity to say to those who are out there in a mindless sort of way, spending, that maybe you could tuck a little aside.
That sounds like very, very sensible, but it can feel a little bit overwhelming because as you said earlier, we spend on a lot of things. So what's the area maybe to target first?
Well, you know what? I would look at how much money I have coming in and be very, very honest with yourself. What are you spending your money on? And then once you start to see that, you can start to highlight some of the areas. Here is a big one. This came to me from the Financial Service Regulatory Authority of Ontario. What? But in any event, they say 38% of us spend more time planning a vacation than we do figuring out the right mortgage. So we were talking about inflation. Here's a big one. For most of us, our mortgage is our biggest expense. And, likely the Bank of Canada is going to move on interest rates. If you're in a variable rate, you don't have to panic and lock in now. It has to move 5 times before it gets to where the fixed rates are. But I do think it's a great opportunity for households to sort of look at where they stand.
I mean, I think like lots of people, online shopping was one of the few pleasures that many people sought out during the pandemic. So what's your advice when it comes to retail therapy and, online shopping in general?
Okay, I don't think it really should be a sport. I really don't. It may be because I don't particularly enjoy it myself. And I get that. I'll probably get some mail on it. But, it's when you're going out there and just buying for the sake of buying. Okay, see this sweater? I have had this sweater for years. If you do follow me on Instagram, you're going to say, that's not the first time I saw that sweater, that's for sure. And you know what? Shop your closet. Go in, rotate, wear something that you haven't worn for the last 30 days. Pull out a piece of jewelry. I know retail therapy can be fun. And by the way, our business owners need those who can continue to afford to spend to continue to do it. I'm just saying, Get the whole family involved and say, okay, what if we all shut down those online purchases? Is there an opportunity to save a little money for something that could give us a bigger bang for our buck?
Well, speaking of getting families involved, let's talk about feeding our families. There have been lots of reports
Yes.
about how grocery prices are going up, and it's hitting a lot of families. So, food spending, like, what do we do about money that we're spending on food, and what can we change? How can we save?
Well, there's no question about it. It doesn't, anyone who goes into the grocery store knows how much more money they are spending. You can do a couple of things, maybe at least as a start to bridge the gap until these prices start to come down, supply chain issues get better resolved, and probably rates go higher. So, maybe you go to the grocery store more frequently. You buy things that have a near expiration date, and if they do have that date on it, they're often cheaper. Maybe you go meatless 1 or 2 nights a week. You talk about brown bagging it. The lattes, I know people say, don't tell me not to buy a latte. I don't want to do that. But I also have people who acknowledge to me, I just looked at how many I buy, and it's way out of control. And so it's about saying in a household, I'm not going to spend any money at breakfast. I'm not having it as a snack. I'm going to make my own lunch. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to spend any money then for dinner. I'm not going to order in, that sort of thing.
All of this seems really reasonable. Wondering if you have any other hidden areas that we might not have thought of, or don't think of immediately, where we can save a few dollars.
You know what I think the biggest thing is getting the whole family involved. Include children, for example. They have great ideas, and sometimes we just don't implement them. And then when you actually save money, come the end of the month, you could say, okay, this is how much money we have. Let's collectively, as a family, we save together, we can spend together. And I just think it's a great communication, it's a great financial skill, and it could help out some families.
Well, thank you so much, Pattie. This dry February idea, if it could get us to a hot girl summer, that's going to be a bonus too. We appreciate your wise financial advice. And for everyone out there, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.